So we just got word this morning 12 people were killed in a terrorist attack in Paris. Why? Because a satirical magazine in Paris dare print a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad. Do you remember after Benghazi, Hillary Clinton met with the father of one of the fallen Navy SEALs? Do you remember what she said? She said, quote, she told this to the dad, "We will make sure that the person who made that film is arrested and prosecuted." That would be the same as if the president of France today stood up and said, "We will find the people who authorized those Mohammed cartoons and bring them to justice." I don't even think the French are that foolish. But you see how ridiculous that would be? That's how ridiculous it was when Hillary said it. But I'll tell you, I promise you our media will look at this terrorist attack and claim it to be some kind of workplace violence or something. Hey, Sledding Crusaders, I hope you had a great Christmas and New Year's. We are back with our show here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's called Here's What's Up. We talk about 3 stories, something important, something smart, and something that'll make you feel good. The important story today is about terrorist attacks. Do you remember the Australian terrorist attack from a couple weeks ago? Remember after that there was this hashtag, I'll ride with you. It was all over the world, hashtag I'll ride with you. You know the thing that started that was an entire hoax. The whole thing was made up. So the woman who started it, her name is Rachel Jacobs. She said she was sitting on a train next to a Muslim woman who was wearing a headscarf. And this woman, fearing anti-Muslim backlash, nervously took off her headscarf in shame. And after the train ride, Rachel ran after the woman and said, "Ma'am, put your headscarf back on. I'll walk with you." And she started to cry and they hugged for a long time and then they walked off together. Oh. Beautiful moment, beautiful. And then this whole self-righteous I'll ride with you campaign took off to protect Muslims from those knuckle-dragging ogres, the anti-Muslim backlash. Even though, as John Hayward wrote, the knuckle-dragging ogres are entirely hypothetical, which makes them very easy to stand up against. What do you mean hypothetical? That woman later admitted that the Muslim woman wasn't sitting next to her. She was across the train. And yes, she did remove her headscarf, but it could have been just a woman wearing a scarf because it was cold outside and she was getting a little warm. She actually never even saw the woman, her face. She may not even have been a Muslim in the first place, and they never spoke. She made the entire thing up. So instead of there being a Muslim victim on the train, there was a woman who was cold wearing a scarf. But anything was picked up to make Muslims the real victim. All of this while people were still hostage in that coffee shop. What a beautiful and horrible analogy of how we are treating the war on Islam. We ignore the real threat and then we blame ourselves. It's just incredible to me that we spend more time talking about the non-existent anti-Muslim backlash that never happens than we do talking about the actual terrorist attack. We actually talked a lot about this on our radio show this morning. Miles.
Yes.
Can we put that underneath the
put it.
description? I got a smart story from you. We'll go from nannying Islam to nannying our children. The city council in Dubuque, Iowa, not San Francisco, Dubuque, Iowa, has banned sledding in their parks. I say not San Francisco because this seems like something that would come out of Nancy-Pamsy, San Francisco, but no, Iowa. No more sledding for the children. Too dangerous, too much liability. They say 20,000 kids a year are sent to the hospital for sledding injuries. That's across the country, not just in Dubuque. If that was just in Dubuque, I would love to see the hill that they're sledding on that would send 20,000 kids to the hospital every year. That's nationwide. You may hear people talk about this story and how crazy it is. Let me give you another number. If 20,000 kids are sent to the hospital every year from sledding accidents, 275,000 kids are sent to the hospital for bicycle accidents. I'll tell you, every aspect of our lives has to be dictated by our wise overlords. Amazing. How many more years do you think it's going to be until we are mandated to put all of our kids in a giant inflatable bubble? Feel good story of the day. This morning I talked with a man. His name is Leon Logothetis. Leon Logothetis, cool name. He traveled the whole world with no money in his pocket. He relied entirely on the generosity and kindness of people that he came across, asked them for food and for even a place to stay at night, traveled the entire world. I assumed that when he made it to New York and he went to Europe, that he just bought a plane ticket for that. No, he actually talked to a bunch of people in the shipping industry, and one of them managed to say, like, all right, and he got one of them to say, yeah, come on board and we'll just send you across the entire Atlantic Ocean. The whole world just asking people for help. Incredible story on human kindness. You know, it's amazing with the Paris attack, it's so easy to focus on the worst of human nature, but on this morning's radio show, we talked about the best of the human spirit. Also, when Leon would come across someone with a particularly noticeable amount of kindness and love, he would give them something in return. Kindness make it a two-way street. Well, he came across this one gentleman and asked him for a place to stay. Turns out he's homeless, but he still gave him a place to stay where he normally sleeps and gave him food and gave him protection. Well, this is what Leon did for him in exchange.
Can I live in your house tonight?
Unfortunately, I don't have a house. I'm homeless right now.
I take this blanket here.
We want to put you up in a house, enroll you in some kind of certificate program where you can make your way again in life.
Nothing this is like monumental. Thank you.
His book is called The Kindness Diaries. I really encourage you to check that out and even listen to our interview as well. Miles, can we put that underneath?
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. High five. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Here's what's up. I'm not even going to issue to last week's episode because we didn't really do one last week. It's been a while. You can listen to our radio show here, and please download Liberty Tree. Miles, make it the whole thing. Can you make it this big? Ooh, can you? So you can click the whole green screen behind me. That's the Liberty Tree app. You can connect with conservatives all across the country. We'll see you again on Friday, and there's one more thing I wanted to say. Oh yeah, we made a trailer for our YouTube show, and that should be ready in just a couple days here on our YouTube page, and that's youtube.com/Here's What's Up Slater. That wasn't dramatic at all.